Unfortunately, I left my guitar at home, so I'm going to have to talk. I hope you guys don't mind. Wow, that sun's pretty bright, just like our futures. Greetings, fellow students, parents, esteemed faculty. My name is Cory Blair. Some of you know me. Those of you who don't, well, you certainly missed out. You probably weren't a member of my origami club, and were probably too scared of having your lunch money stolen to attend my bi-weekly The Wiggles Hoop-de-Doo It's a Wiggly Party sing-along. But I digress. Let me first say how honored I am to stand among such a talented and beautiful group of students today. As often stated by students who are not creative enough to think of an original opening to their speech, graduating is always a bittersweet experience. On one hand, you'll miss your friends, family, and the tight-knit community we have here. On the other, the town your next school is located in may have its very own grocery store. In fact, I miss high school already. To have one final classic high school experience, I stayed up until 4 a.m. last night fooling around on the internet, then wrote this speech on the car ride over here today. At least I hear all this procrastinating stops in college. Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. What you see here are not just students. They are the future of America. And let me tell you, the future looks good. I haven't seen a crowd this talented since I saw the Avengers last summer. They may have a Hulk, but we have a 9-foot-tall Thomas Bowles. I know you've heard many graduation speeches before, and find that many of them fall upon the same beaten path. But fear not, for I plan to change that. In fact, nobody will fall asleep during my speech, not even Grandpa. This is because I've laced all the refreshments with caffeine. It's also because I plan on straying from the norm, becoming a dead horse rights activist, if I may. You've probably heard phrases like, follow your dreams and be yourself before. They've been used in countless graduation speeches. I should know. I looked it up. Online. I won't insult your intelligence by repeating them. Instead, I come with a warning about the economy. In the past, people had jobs right out of high school. Now, it's a little tougher. Students are being forced to go to college and even graduate school to be competitive in the job market. Congratulations, everyone. You've completed school and now can move on to 8 more years of school. And that extra school is expensive, too. For a private or out-of-state 4-year college, tuition can be up to $60 grand a year. That's a $240,000 college experience. To put that in perspective, here are some other things you can buy with $240,000. A down payment on $1 million home, a barn filled with ponies, a Ferrari filled with 1 pony, 240,000 double cheeseburgers off the McDonald's dollar menu, 3 tissues used by Tina Fey off of eBay, Nickelback concert tickets and necessary post-concert ear surgery, 48,000 The Wiggles Hoop-de-Doo It's a Wiggly Party sing-along DVDs with extensive DVD commentary by none other than Jeffrey Wayne Fat, the purple wiggle. He's the most attractive one. 8 large Cokes at any movie theater. 5 pairs of Mr. Soane's fancy pants. And 3 dates with Bridget Knudsen. In fact, colleges crave money so much that while visiting the Duke campus, I was mugged by their admissions officer. Luckily, my wallet had no money in it, because I had just visited Yale. And after all this debt, you have a terrible job market, and most of us will move back in with our parents and resort to writing fan fiction. I know I will, Mom. Yes, all of this may seem depressing, but we are talented enough, we are smart enough, we are hardworking enough, and we will succeed. When society looks us in the eyes and says all odds say you won't make it, we will change the odds. We will make it. And Poolesville High School is the perfect place to prepare for the future. Yes, you can do it, as long as you remember the deep and impacting words of SpongeBob SquarePants. Life is like a bucket of wood shavings, except for when the wood shavings are in a pail. Then it's like a pail of wood shavings. I came from California halfway through my high school career. Many people say to me, "Oh, you must be bummed that you moved from California to Poolesville." But it is quite the contrary. In fact, this high school blew me away like a stray piece of paper in a whistling wind. The students are extremely talented and dedicated. The teachers are passionate and teach both curriculum and life lessons. The rooms are numbered logically and are easy to navigate. And the librarian is extremely nice until she smells food on you. It's no wonder we are rated the #1 public school in Montgomery County, which is rated as one of the best public school districts in America. And America is always #1. By the transitive property, we are one of the best public high schools in the world. Fellow classmates, you should be proud, for we have not simply completed our senior year, we have triumphed over it. We fought against the year and won. We fought against our difficult courses and won. We fought against stress and sleep deprivation and homework and college apps and scholarship essays and AP tests and SAT tests and ACT tests and finals and midterms and overprotective parents and social media drama and extremely tasteful prom dancing and locker rooms that smell a little bit like puberty. And here we are, sitting triumphant. Then we fought against senioritis and lost. But enough about the past. That's so 2000 and late. Now comes the mandatory sentimental part of the speech. And because the first part was just pointless, pretentious ramblings and ill-executed jokes that seemed funnier when I wrote them at 3 in the morning, I will stop trying to validate my pitiful self-esteem by gaining the approval and laughter of the masses and instead weave a narrative. I'm sure you have all heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. If not, you've been living under a shell your whole life. All credit for that singer goes to Miss Wilder. Anyways, I have rewritten it. It starts out the same way. The tortoise challenges the hare to a race. Why? Presumably he has the IQ of a shovel. But they race. And the hare doesn't take a nap in the middle of the race, because any small mammal that falls asleep while running would have already been mauled and eaten. And then the hare wins and waits for the tortoise at the finish line to rub the victory in his face, emulating that one guy who took gym class too seriously. When the tortoise finally makes it, the hare reminds the tortoise that he lost, and the tortoise looks the hare dead in the eyes and says, "Cool." The kind of cool you would tell your distant relative at a family reunion when they begin to spontaneously outline their elaborate cooking process for some subpar meatloaf dish that everyone pretends to like but in reality aren't even sure if meat should be served in the form of a loaf. This is not only because the tortoise was a certified sass master, but because he got more out of the trip than the hare did. The tortoise took the course slowly and leisurely. He observed and appreciated his surroundings. He looked up at the sky and observed just how beautiful it is, how incredible clouds are if you think about it, just suspended liquid droplets that are perpetually hovering above us, forming pillowy and luscious sculptures. The tortoise had a grand time postulating what the cloud shape it most resembled. The tortoise appreciated the fact that this exact sky, with its cloud formations and colors, will probably never exist again. This view was unique to his frame of reference, and if he didn't observe it now, he will never get the chance to. As the wispy clouds and vibrant colors will slide right through his stubby little turtle fingers. And he knows not to lower his head, as the next unique sky may be even more beautiful. And so the hare reaches his destination quickly, stressed and out of breath, eager to take a hot bath in the waters of denial and try not to cry himself to sleep. But the tortoise reaches his destination rested, happy, and most of all, fulfilled. The tortoise would gladly retread his path. And so the question is proposed, was winning that race really worth it? There are those who say yes, and there are those who say no. There are those who have one goal and must spend all of their time and energy to accomplish it, and that's fine. I'm not telling you to abandon your dreams. But while pursuing them, don't lose sight of everything else as well. Look around once in a while. Appreciate and enjoy life. Appreciate the fact that you're here today. Appreciate the fact that we started out as nothing but microscopic particles and evolved into sentient and beautiful beings capable of thought and curiosity and laughter and love. Do not become a horse with blinders on, only able to see in one direction, running for one thing. Because in the end of the day, you will wind up tired, empty, and injured. And horse healthcare is terrible. It's almost as if Tesco Horse Hospital and Burger Joint has ulterior motives. There's a cliche that says it's not about the journey, that says it's about the journey, not the destination. Yes, it's old and overused, just like many of our 200-year-old decrepit buildings. But when you do reach the finish line of life and look back upon the path you chose, whether you ran head down or put your head up to look around a bit, would you be willing to take it again? So once again, Poolesville class of 2013, congratulations on staving off the omniscient specter of parental disappointment for at least 4 more years. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of this lively and brief ceremony.